Guys, how are you all doing today? You all good? Good, right. Get your pop, get your crisps, get your pickled onions. We're going to talk about Marvel films today, and this is going to be my top 14. Sorry, there's a hair on. There we go. Get your haircut. So first on this list, now I love all these films. Don't get me wrong. There is not a bad one amongst them. Looking at it, nope, not a bad one. But this is just the order I put them in. If I was, if you were to ask me, which you have done, what my top ones are. So, bottom of the list, the least wanted, is Thor: Dark World. Not a terrible film, but not the best of the Marvel films. I have a problem. I don't like Natalie Portman. I think she's a terrible actress. And I just don't. I don't see why Thor would look at her and think, I'm a god now, I want to spend the rest of my life with her, because she is not a very interesting person and not that cute. So, sorry Natalie. I do know that they had a little bit of trouble because they'd filmed most of it and then realised that there wasn't a lot of Thor and Loki, which really is the bit that works. And I hope we have more of Thor and Loki in the new film, the Ragnarok. But this one, they had to go back, do some reshoots, add some more of Thor and Loki into it. Even the bit where he changes from, different characters in it. It's a good film, but it's not the best one, yeah? And somebody has to be at the bottom. So, right, next we have the Hulk. Some people argue that this isn't part of the Marvel Universe, but it is because it appears in Iron Man 2, bits of the footage from it appear in Iron Man 2, and they make reference to it in the other films. So, there. Yeah, Boo sucks. I still enjoy it. Edward Norton isn't one of my favourite actors, but he's quite good in this. I like his portrayal as Bruce Banner. That's how Bruce Banner should be to me, really. This little guy that's kind of shy that nobody ever notices, sort of in the background, which he does quite well. Liv Tyler's pretty good. Tim Roth as the Abomination is brilliant. I really wish they'd have put more of him in Captain America Civil War. They could have had him in the background when they went to the raft, the prison out at sea. It would just have been nice to have seen somebody in there, because you had Thunderbolt Ross in it, so it would have been nice just to see like they had him there as well. That's why Thunderbolt was there. But they didn't, so... But still, I like that film. It's got some nice set pieces in it. The fact at the end's brilliant. Yes, some of the CGI of the Hulk looks a little bit maybe ropey now, but that's the problem with CGI. It gets better, makes older films look worse. So, but still, quite a good film. Next, we have Thor. Pretty much same reasons as the last one. It's got Natalie Portman in it. It's an origin story, and well, it's not an origin story, but it's got more of him, without his powers. So there's not a lot of Thor being Thor in it. There's a lot of him discovering himself, which is great. Some great dialogue, some great set pieces, but something has to go near the bottom, and that's the other reason, really. Chris Hemsworth's great in it, and the design, and this was the one where everybody was like, how are you going to do that? Because you've got to put him in that outfit. And he was and it worked. I must admit, I thought it was brave of them to do Thor so soon in the thing, because it is a little bit off the wall. Not as well a known character as... Though then again, Iron Man wasn't that well known at the time. But still. Not a bad film, but that's where it goes in my list. Right, next we have Iron Man 2. A lot of people did not like this when it came out. I did. I quite like this. I went to see this cinema, and I enjoyed it. It's got exotic locations. They were trying to be a little bit more James Bond with him, I feel, and send him to exotic locations, which is pretty cool, because most of that car scene with the race was filmed in Idaho or somewhere in America. It wasn't filmed in Monaco like it's supposed to be. They went and filmed plates at the Grand Prix and then just edited the cars and things in, which worked. Great cast. Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer was brilliant. I love the way that they make him like the, to use a Tony Stark phrase, ass clown version of Tony Stark. yeah, they make him sort of like a bit of a Muppet version of him. He so wants to be Tony Stark, and he isn't. What's his face? He's going to be Mickey Rourke as Ivan Vanko. He's, well, mad as a box of soapy kippers in real life, so pulls off the mad thing quite well in this. Introduced Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, which was nice to see. We finally had a female sort of kick-ass person in the MCU. Yeah, I still like it. I think it's got some witty dialogue, some great things. And it also has the fight scene at the end, the one that Happy Hogan fights against, the security guard that Happy Hogan fights against, is The Rock's stunt double. And it's also, I think, his nephew. It's a family member. But if you look at him, it looks like The Rock. But yeah, I like it. I like the fact Don Cheadle makes a really good roadie. Yeah, I like it. But that's where it goes in the list. Right, so next. Captain America, the First Avenger. Like I said, this is made by the guy that made The Rocketeer. Which, thumbs up to that. Does it say his name on the front? It's easier if I read the back, but directed by Joe Johnston. I knew I'd come to me. I can't see that. My eyesight's going. Yeah, Joe Johnston, who directed Rocketeer. He also worked on the concept art and things of Indiana Jones. He's done other films. Google him. He's a great little director. Introduced Bucky, who, you know, really great portrayal of Bucky in this. I think it's really cool the way they make everybody look sort of smaller. Yeah. Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull. Yeah. And of course, this brought in Peggy Carter, who is... Please, Hot Toys, make a Peggy Carter figure, okay? I've waited this long. It would be great. That TV series should have gone on and on and on and on. And she's my favourite bit of this. Sorry. But I really like Peggy Carter. Yeah, I think it's a really good version of Captain America. I think they make him likeable. He's kind of shy. He's still, you know, the timid guy, but now he's big and buff. It's quite clever, the effect of making him look really small to then making him look really big. And a lot of this was filmed in Liverpool and Manchester in England. The New York dock bits, they were filmed in England. One of the bits, you see them run through an archway thing when he's chasing the bad guy. That bit was also used in the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes. So watch that. You can kind of see they've painted a slightly different colour in the other one, but this one it's the right colour. So yeah, still one of my favourite films, but that's where it goes on the list. Next we have Iron Man 3. I want to see this cinema. I want to see this twice on the same day. I want to see it in the afternoon. I want to see it with my girlfriend at night. And I like it. I think it's got some nice touches in it. It's Shane Black directing, who's directed such, he's written, directed, produced great films like Nice Guys. I'm a big fan and I've forgotten it. Fast Boy Scout, Lethal Weapon, you know, films like that. So yeah, he's a good little director. He's got some nice little touches in it. The relationship between Pepper and Tony is quite good. Yeah, it's nice to see, you know, a loving couple in something, even though they fight. I think Guy Pearce as the villain is fantastic. He's a great actor. Really, find some of his films. Lockout is brilliant. I'm going to do a review of that soon. Yeah. I like what they did with it. You see, Ben Kingsley as well. A lot of people slagged off the fact that the Mandarin isn't like in the comics. Well, it couldn't be because it's not politically correct these days, etc. I think they still could bring back, because it does say about plastic surgery, so they still could bring back the real Mandarin and still have Ben Kingsley play it. And that would be kind of funny, to maybe have the two of them together, like, you know, because you know, yeah. But yeah, still one of my favourite films. So, next we have, yes, Trevor Slattery. We have Doctor Strange. This is a different one for Marvel because they went into the more mystic, weird world. Does feel a little bit like a rehash of the Iron Man origin, but that's how he became who he became. There was a lot of radioactive spillages, Daredevil, Spider-Man, I suppose, other characters that was created in that way. This is a similar way to Iron Man, but different, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I really like this. Some great special effects. Looks brilliant. It was one of the best ones I've seen in 3D, because most of these are 3D, but it doesn't really matter. But this one was really good. It looked really wow. Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't know. As a person, I think he's a bit up his own tail flaps. But in this, I quite like him. I do. You know, he has the vulnerability of a character that doesn't know what he's doing, and I like it. It's got some good bits in it. So, next, we have Avengers Age of Ultron. Again, it's got all of them in it, which, thumbs up. It gives them a little bit more screen time, because the first Avengers film, obviously, was setting up who they all were. This is them working as a team. I think the fight between the Hulk and the Hulkbuster is breathtaking. It's a proper comic book fight scene. Ulysses Claw in there as well, as you know, with Andy Serkis as losing his arm. James Spader is brilliant as Ultron. Great voice. I do wish, in a way, they had made Ultron's face less. They try to give him like a mouth and like he could talk. And to me, it would have been better just to have made it like a blank, snarling face. But it's still good. The love interest thing between Hulk and Scarlet Witch, that's something different. Yeah, something different. We haven't seen anything like that before in the Marvel Universe. So, yeah. The end with the city floating in the sky created a whole backstory for the rest of the series as well. I mean, it's mentioned in everything else. And that's the nice thing, that these things are mentioned in things. So, yeah. Next we have Ant-Man. I like this one because it's got that comedy vibe to it. It's got humour. It's different. All the other ones are multi-millionaire, rich, you know what I mean, that kind of people. This is just a guy who just wants to sort his life out. And is it Evangelina Lilly is brilliant as Hank Pym's daughter, whose name I can't remember now. But yeah, even Hank Pym. Is it Hank Pym? Yeah. His new mentor, Hank Pym. Michael Douglas as Hank Pym is brilliant. I like this film, and it's good. It's got the bit with Hawkeye in it, which is fantastic. Yeah, and I'm not really a big fan of. They really need to write these bigger. I'll put names in bigger type. Yeah, still one of my favourites. Now next we have Iron Man. This has got to be up there because this is where it all started, and I must have watched this film a million times. I even have it on 4K. I have all three on 4K. There is a review somewhere on my list if you look for it. It just started it all off. It does what it says on the tin. I think it is a brilliant film. Robert Downey Jr. was the perfect choice. Yeah, I love this film because it started it all. Yeah, so there we go. Next we have, now this is where it got difficult for me because I was like, oh, which one goes where? So I'm just going to go with this, right? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pause the camera a minute because after 15 minutes. So, next we have Civil War. It's got everybody in it. It's Captain America, but it's got Iron Man. It's got, you can tell him my favourite is gay. It's got Iron Man. It's got Captain America. It's got everybody in it. It introduces Spider-Man, which is brilliant. Great take of Spider-Man. I haven't seen the new Spider-Man film yet. Hopefully this weekend. Yeah. It does a really, really... It's got a really good story. Yeah, people complain that Baron Zemo's not done right and he's not a great villain. But it's not about the villain standing there cackling. It's about what the villain can make the heroes do. Because most of these films, they're fighting themselves, really. And in this one particularly. It's really... I mean, the bit on the raft where they've got Hawkeye and all the others in the cell is... I don't know. I find that really sort of like moving. The way that they look at Stark and as the bad guy. But yeah. So we're down to the last three. This was really, really, really difficult for me to get this in the right order because it's like these are three of my all-time favourite movies. So, and that one also was nearly in it. So first we have, and I'm still pondering whether to swap. No, just go with it. We have Captain America: Winter Soldier. This is Captain America. This is just perfect. Heroic. It's got that sort of mystery action vibe to it. The fight scene on the highway with the bridge and that is brilliant. I mean, that is breathtakingly good. And it's not overly... The great thing is not overly big. And that's the thing. It's not like he's saving the world in any large terms. He is just saving himself and, you know, and that's great. He introduces Falcon. Yeah, I like it. The rapport between Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow and Cap is brilliant. It is. That is one of the great superhero movies. So, if you haven't watched it, watch it. And next, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, next we have Guardians of the Galaxy. This was so nearly the top one, but I went with the other one you'll see in a minute, just because that is more superhero than this. No, this is superheroes. This is brilliant. This is one of my all-time, as you can see from the t-shirt, my all-time favourite movies, and it looks fantastic on my 4K Blu-ray player with the 4K TV. It's just, the colours are fantastic. If you'd have said to me that we would enjoy a film with a talking tree and a raccoon in it, talking tree and a talking raccoon in it, I would have gone, nah. But this is brilliant. They just got the perfect cast for it. Chris Pratt is just perfect. I watched this and I think he should have a great career. I mean, he was just a comedic little actor in some weird sort of sitcom thing. But now, you know, even Dave Bautista is brilliant in it. Bradley Cooper as Rocket is amazing. Yeah, one of my favourite films. I just keep coming back and I've watched this again a million times. And finally, we have Marvel's Avengers. This has to be my top one because it does exactly what it says on the tin. Marvel went out there and they made an Avengers movie. I read comics as a kid. These are like the comics I read. And this is just perfect. It's got just the right balance of everybody in it. It's just perfect. The fight at the end in New York has just the right amount of destruction. I've talked about this before with Man of Steel. Way too much destruction. They leveled an entire city. This is still pretty leveled, but far better. It just created, as Iron Man created the universe, this created it perfectly to go on. I've got one criticism. I don't like Captain America's outfit in it. There you go, said it. But other than that, the rest of it, love to bits. I did get this. This is the 3D version, because I used to have a 3D TV. It's a 3D version from America because Coulson getting stabbed through the chest got edited in England, and so it just goes, ugh! You don't see the spike come through. So I got the American one. Plus, this American copy, because of that, also has a commentary on it by Josh Whedon, which is definitely worth watching. This is, like I said, Josh Whedon at his best. He's now handling some of the Avengers. Not Avengers, that's Avengers. Justice League, start again, Justice League. Hopefully he'll polish that up to be as good as this. Like I said, this is one of my all-time favourite movies. This is a superhero movie. Puny God, Hulk smash. It is just brilliant. It just really, really thumbs up. There isn't, you know, you watch some films and you get to bits and you kind of think, oh, it's that bit again, and you could skip it. There isn't a bit of this I skip. This is one of them, when I put it on, I watch it from beginning to end. It is my rough day at work film. You know that film that when you've had a really bad day at work, you come home and think, right, I need to cheer myself up? This is it. So, yeah, that's my number one. So, that's my list. You may agree with me, you may not. That's what life's about. If you have an opinion, and I would love to hear them, I would love some discussion at the bottom, get into it. Have a discussion. Have an argument over it. Don't be mean, though. Like I said, this is only my opinion. I'd like to hear yours. So that's it. If you like this, leave some likes, some thumbs up, some subscriptions. Would be lovely. We're on 32. I want to get to 100. And I couldn't do that if you subscribe. So thank you very much for listening. Have a great day, a great night, and I will see you all very soon. Bye now.